big man. We only have you on board. Conrad's flying back from, where's he flying back from? Spain?
He's flying back from Greece. His
Greece.
trip. I think he was talking to another brokerage out there, the Remax brokerage.
Oh yeah. He's on a speaking tour. I wonder what he gets paid. He probably gets paid huge dollars. Speakers get paid big money. I think he does it for the love. I think he probably gets paid pretty well doing it, but I think he just loves doing it as well too. You know? He does. I wish I was well spoken like that, but I can't speak like crap. So anyway,
that's not true.
Anyway, listen, everybody, we got Brian Hodgman here with Mission 35 Mortgages. Thank you, Brian, for being on here. Myself, Remax discovered the Golfi Team. A couple of articles came out in the paper this week. I want to talk about one in particular right now. We'll go on to the other ones now. A company, this is in the Spectator, company will chip in $250,000 to help you buy a home, but there's a catch. So what it is I'm going to give you an example. What they're doing here. So let's give a hypothetical name: Freddie and Fannie. American insurance companies. So Freddie and Fannie are looking to purchase a house for $600,000, and they have a 5% down payment of $30,000. They could ask. This is a company called Our Borrower to invest $90,000 to bump the down payment up to 20% and lowering their mortgage amount from $570,000 to $480,000. Now, in 5 years after paying off $50,000 of their mortgage, now can you pay off $50,000 in 5 years on something like that?
You can on like a 25-year AM. I think with today's interest rates, it's a little bit more challenging. I think you're probably closer to half of that.
Okay. All right. So they're giving $50,000 on the mortgage payment. So now they decide to sell. Okay, 5 years. Freddie and Fannie's house appreciates in that time, hits the market, and sells for $750,000. Okay. So here's what it is. So hypothetical case. Now the buyers walk away with the $50,000 that they put down, right? The money that they paid on the mortgage principal. They paid and the $30,000 from the down payment. So that works out to about $80,000. Okay. Now in capital gains from the value of the home has appreciated. Okay. Now minus fees and taxes, Our Borrower, the company that's giving the money, gets their $90,000 investment back on the down payment. Plus, because they paid 3/4 of the down payment, the rest of the $112,000 capital gains for their share. So they're getting 75%. I think it's bullshit.
Yeah.
I'll get a letter from a lawyer indicating commenting on this. I don't know. I'm going to get the letters. Oh boy, there you go. But
it's a tough one. Like CMHC introduced a program as well too, where they would match the down payment. They if you had 5% down, they'd give you another 5% down, and then it would become the same thing, like a shared equity position. You know how many of those we did, Rob?
Zero.
That's not 3. That's 0. Sorry, 0. We did 0 of them because number one, you already had to be approved for the mortgage anyways. So why get them? Like this deal here, my opinion, okay? Tell me if I'm right or wrong, Brian. You got the 5%, so you qualify, right? You qualify. Okay, so what? CMHC fees. Your interest rate's going to be lower by what? How much lower on CMHC insured? A quarter to half a point, possibly? Even more in some points. You're getting really low rates. You're still getting rates in the 4s with CMHC insured.
Okay, perfect. So you're getting a lower rate. Okay, so you buy a house less expensive. No big deal. You make it your house. It doesn't matter, but it's a house. Now, in, let's say, 10 years, you own the house. You bought it for $500,000. So let's say the less expensive house, instead of the $600,000, you buy it $500,000. 10 years, that house is going to be worth $1 million. Now, we didn't think townhouses would be worth $1 million way back years ago. Now, they're coming up to $1 million. So I'll tell you, that $1 million, you put the 5% down, you built up $500,000 in equity, plus you pay down maybe $50,000 to $80,000 in principal off the mortgage. There you go. There's my.
You're way better. And you know what? There's even maybe better ways of doing that to get to a bigger down payment because, we're seeing options. You can still get cash back on a mortgage. Like if you're getting cash back on $500,000, you might top up another $10,000, $20,000 down payment. There's still lenders that will allow you to borrow it. right? So if you borrow that down payment, even if you're borrowing it from a source where you're paying 10% or even 15% on that, so long as you can afford the interest only or the payments that are built into the application, I just think that trying to exhaust every possible way of doing it yourself, like you said, or even buy for a little bit less. I think you're in control, because that's that's a lot of money to pay. 75% of your appreciation
Oh,
when
forget it. You're still behind the eight ball. You are handcuffed to these guys to do this again on the next house you buy.
Good point. Absolutely.
You are handcuffed. Like you just can't get out of that circle. So the other thing is, remember the program that Hamilton came out with? They would give you the down payment.
Yep.
If you own the house, is it 20 years?
Yep. They would forgive it after 20 years. Yeah.
You got to keep it. Now, if you sold in less than 20 years, you had to pay the down payment back, but all the rest of the equity is yours.
Right.
Why don't they do something like that? Like that was was that a great program? Like, I mean, I don't know if you did a couple of those deals or not.
Yeah, we did actually. Well, because that program, I think truly from the heart of it was helping people, right? Because that was basically that was sort of a municipality government that was funding basically to truly help people get into home ownership, right? So I thought it was a great program, because you get into a house, and if you made money and if you wanted to sell it after 5 years, great, you got to pay the piper. But if not, and if you bought a house and stayed in it for 20 years, it was forgivable. I think that's the difference between, having municipal, federally funded programs versus for private programs. When it's a private program, they're out to make money, and they're out to make some serious money. So that's the difference. I would rather see, when we're talking about solving these home ownership issues, more programs like the one you just mentioned, because that actually help people get into homes.
Exactly. Like, I don't know why they don't bring that out more. I don't know. I mean, the Ontario government, the Canadian government, the freaking, Hamilton did that on their own, I think. Was that part of the provincial, or was that?
Yeah, and I think they still do programs like that. And one came out not too long ago. The challenge is, though, is because prices got expensive. I think the last time they released it, they might have had room for 3 or 4. So then now all of a sudden you've got like 1,000 applications that can help 3 people. And the guidelines is like reading War and Peace. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you have to be this income, you have to be 5'9", brown hair. This you have to like.
I don't. And I remember when it first came. It must have been. I'm assuming it must have been about 15, 20 years ago that it first came out. And they had 100. They were allowing 100.
Yeah.
And I went scrambling like, we gotta get a chunk of this. We gotta get a chunk of this business.
I was at the bank at that time. I remember doing those. Those were good programs, like really good programs then.
So anyway, it's just to me, my opinion, I think it's a fail. I should get a buzzer that says like, you know what I mean? I gotta get that.
You got to look at all the other options first. I'd rather go to Bank of Mom and Dad if it's available. I'd rather joint venture, partner with someone, find another way to do it, because there's a number of different ways, and because that would be cheaper than doing it that way.
Okay, now here's another thing that just came out: the iBuyer. Did you see that?
Yeah,
iBuyer. Yeah. Okay, so what this is, it started in the U.S. This is in Edmonton right now, and it says. If you sell your house through iBuyer, you receive a cash offer without the traditional hassles of staging your home or showing it, getting photography done or anything, okay, to potential purchasers. Now, the solution to selling works because it's simple and extremely convenient. The iBuyer company purchases your home for market value based on an approved appraisal, and then takes on the burden of owning, marketing, and reselling your home. Now, I don't think they take possession of the home, do they? I don't know.
I think they do actually take possession. They actually fund it, take possession, and then they resell it.
But okay, so tell me this: like, they basically will buy, like, appraise it. So they'll give you that minus whatever fee. There's a commission, a real estate fee. Is there another fee? They're not really explaining that in the article.
There's got to be, because the margins, like. Well, number one, the way that I look at that is twofold, right? If they're going to make margin on that or make money on that, they got to buy it at a discounted price. And if we're in a market right now where there's...
Oh, you froze. You got to back up. I'm not sure if you can hear me. We may have to end this live Facebook. Oh, are you there? No. Well, looks like I lost you, buddy. So anyway, I'm going to talk about a little bit of this iBuyer situation. There has to be a fee. There has to be a fee for this thing. They don't talk about it too much. It was an article in the paper. It's in Edmonton. The company's called, the real estate brokerage in Edmonton is called Sweetly Real Estate. And my concept on this is, hey, it'd be great if it does work, but if it doesn't work, I don't know. I don't see it. There's got to be a fee for it. So if they're charging 4 or 5% commission plus a fee, so you're really probably getting, let's say on a $600,000 appraisal, you might be getting maybe $520,000 for the house, and then they resell it, or even less than that. So that is a new thing that's come out. It's called iBuyer. It's been in the U.S., but this started up. This is starting up just new in Edmonton, Ontario. We lost Brian. I'm here by myself, and I'll just say thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next week at the same time, same place. Have a great weekend, everybody.